want to take bets on whether or not this is going to fall on top of me while I'm filming this video. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. For today's little bookmas video, we are going to be talking about the, I think, 23 books that I've gotten in the past couple weeks. My last big book haul of 2023. These are going to be the last books that I add to my physical TBR for the rest of this year. We are just gonna go from the top. It goes all the way up here. I think you can't even see it on the screen how far it goes, but we're all cozy, so we are just going to go through and talk through the books that I'll be adding to my physical TBR for 2024. Oh my god, I'm so scared this is gonna fall. It's like, feels like we're playing Jenga. First book is Things You Left Behind by Lucy Score. This book came out a few months ago, I think. I have read the first one, Things You Never Got Over. I did not read the second one yet. I think it's called Things You Hide From the Light. I didn't read that second one yet, but this is the third book in the Knockabout trilogy about Lucy and Sloane, which if you read the first two books, you know that throughout them, there's always been this sort of like mystery around their very volatile almost relationship. There was so much build-up about Lucy and Sloane's relationship, and that is what this book is about. This book was so anticipated, but I hear that a lot of people were kind of disappointed by it. That's what's preventing me from continuing on to read the series, but I feel like that's not a good reason to not finish the rest of the series because I did genuinely enjoy the first book, and so I'm just curious what all of the hype is about. So there's our first book, Things We Left Behind. Our next book is one that I got during Black Friday. It's To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. This book is one that I have heard about, like floating around. Kind of feels like Little Mermaid-y to me. So Princess Lyra is a siren. Sea Queen transforms her into a human. The queen says that the only way that you can become a siren again is if you give me Prince Elian's heart, because that's what the sirens do, they collect hearts. So, and then of course she meets Prince Elian, and it's not as simple as it seems. So we're gonna do these three together. It is the Renegades Trilogy. We have Renegades, Arch Enemies, and Supernova. They came in a little like box set, and they were on sale at like half price for Black Friday, and this is a series that I was very, very interested in. I think it was like less than 20 bucks for all three of these books, which in my mind was a good deal. I've been wanting to read this Renegades trilogy for so long. It's a fantasy, and people say that it gives like Marvel vibes, and I love Marvel, and people just genuinely really enjoy this series and this story. I don't know anything else really about it. Apparently it is very superhero-y and action-y. It's also fantasy. And it's by Marissa Meyer, who actually wrote the Lunar Chronicles, which is like Cinder, Scarlet, Cress, and Winter. I read those. Well, I read Cinder and maybe the second one when I was in high school, and I genuinely really did like Cinder. I just didn't finish the series because I think I got more involved in other series, but Marissa Meyer was the author of that series that I really liked in high school, and she's the author of this series, so I figured I would give it a try. So that's our next three books. And then our next book is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, the sequel, I believe, to the Shadow and Bone trilogy, which I also have. So I want to read the Shadow and Bone trilogy and then read this. I think it's a duology. It's this one and then Crooked Kingdom. It takes the point of view, I think, of Kaz, who is mentioned in Shadow and Bone. About, it's sort of like they're doing a heist. Sima picks the worst possible times to play with the paper bags. People really like this duology, even more than the Shadow and Bone trilogy, so I wanted to pick that up as well. Then we have two books from the same series. We have Crown of Midnight and Heir of Fire. These are, I think, the third and fourth book, depending on how you read them, of the Throne of Glass series, and that is a series I am like slowly collecting each book as I see it, because that is a series that I really want to get into in 2024. I just heard such great things about it, and I also have the Crescent City novels, but in my mind, like, I already read ACOTAR. I feel like Throne of Glass is next, and then I can read Crescent City. That is why I want to start Throne of Glass in 2024. I just hear such good things about it, and I'm so excited. Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. This is the first book in the Last Hours trilogy. Cassandra Clare's Shadowhunters universe is just, it's huge. I think there's like 4 or 5 5 interconnected series. I read the Mortal Instruments series, I read the Infernal Devices series, and I think this series is the one that came out next, the Last Hour series. I'm not exactly sure, but that is what I think it is. And I love Cassandra Clare's writing. I love her entire Shadowhunters universe. And I remember when I was reading those, I just got so invested in it and so fully involved in it. I wanted to continue reading that in 2024. So this is the first book of that next series that we will be reading of the Shadowhunter series. And then we have Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I feel like I am extremely late to the game on this book. This book, it blew up a few months ago, and I never got around to reading it because something about me, I don't know what it is with me, but I'm always late to the game. If there are people that are really talking about a series, I generally don't read it right away because I want to get like more opinions on it to see if I should actually take the time to read it. And I've heard mixed opinions of this one. I've heard some people say they loved it. I've heard some people say that it was just okay. But the second book in the series came out, Wildfire, and that one's getting really good reviews. So I decided I would bite the bullet and pick up Icebreaker. It's just like, you know, your classic hockey romance, but she's also a figure skater. Cute little book, and I felt like it'd be a good book to read in winter. I don't know why, but this, I know exactly why actually, because it's called Icebreaker. But this just gives winter vibes to me, so I'm gonna read that in the winter. Next is Dance of Thieves. This is by Mary E. Peterson. This is the first book in the Dance of Thieves duology. The second book is Vow of Thieves. And I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't entirely know what this book is about. I feel like sometimes with such hyped up books like this, I kind of just want to go into it blind and make my own opinions off of it. So I never really read super into what it's about fully, but I know it's a fantasy duology, and I know that some people really love the Dance of Thieves duology. So I decided I would give it a try and try out the first book. I am getting into so many series in 2024, and I still have so many series to do, but that's okay. We're just gonna keep on building. We're gonna keep on building our fantasy TBR because that's my real purpose in life. That's a lie, but I'm not gonna feel bad about it. The next book is A Merry Little Meet Cute. This is by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone. I actually read this book already. It's coming up in a bookmas vlog that I'm editing right now, but I read this book already. I never really got a chance to show you it, so I decided I would include it in this book haul and I should tell you my review of it instead of just telling you what I think it's about. It's a Christmas book. I went into this completely blind. I shouldn't have gotten into this completely blind. I was listening to the audiobook and I had to turn it off because there was just some parts that it was a lot. This book is not closed door at all. It is the exact opposite of closed door, and it's very apparent. So just, if you read this book, go into it knowing that. I will say I did like how the end of the book and the third act conflict and the resolution actually seemed legit to me. It was actually like an issue like that I could definitely see breaking people up. So I don't see that a lot in romance books, so I will say that is something that this book did well. But yeah, it's a lot. And the next one that I have is Finale, which is the last book in Stephanie Garber's Caraval trilogy. I have Caraval on my TBR for this month, so I am going to be reading that book next. And I wanted to get through the whole series this year, the Caraval series, so that I can start with the Once Upon a Broken Heart series next year. That is why I just got the third book, so I have it waiting on my shelves. If I'm reading a series, I don't like waiting for a book to arrive. I like to go to my shelves and shop my shelves and just like pick the next book up right away and get back into the world. So I like having all of the books on hand. Excessive? Yes, but that's just how I do things. So that's Finale. And then next, I have a book that is controversial. When I got this book, I didn't know how controversial it was. I actually pre-ordered it and I haven't read it. I've refrained from reading it. I only found out like 2 days ago that it was like controversial. So take this with a grain of salt, but I also got Never by Jessa Hastings. Jessa Hastings is the author of the Magnolia Parks series, which we all know is like the best series in the world to me right now. And this is like a Peter Pan retelling, but there are some parts in here that people don't recommend and don't think that you should condone. I pre-ordered it already, so it'll be on my shelves, but yeah, just, you know, again, take it with a grain of salt. The next book I got, which is actually bent, which made me so upset. The middle of the book is actually bent right here, which is so sad, but I am too lazy to return it to get a new one, so I just kept it, and hopefully it'll flatten out. But this is Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. This is a literary fiction in that realm of genre, and I believe it's about the importance of female friendship. I have recently been reading more nonfiction books, or like literary fiction books, and I've enjoyed some of them. So this book has gotten a lot of good reviews, so I decided that I would add this to my shelf and read this in 2024. Next is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This is a book that I picked up very randomly. Like, I haven't really heard anyone talk about this book, but it says it's the #1 national bestseller. I think it's like a fantasy book. Kept on popping up on my Amazon for like a book that I would enjoy based on the other books that I had been buying. So I bought it during Black Friday. Again, I bit the bullet and I bought it during Black Friday. It was just one of those books that like kept on popping up, and I'm like, okay, I'm actually very intrigued about what this is about. So that is The Night Circus. And the next book I have, before I have a series to show you, is Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Lin Tan. This is another book that had been popping up on my Amazon of a book that I would enjoy, and there were a lot of reviews on it actually, even though I haven't heard much people in like the booktube book talk space talk about it. Beautiful. Look how pretty that cover is. It's so pretty. So it's about a Chinese moon goddess where a young woman's quest to free her mother pits her against the most powerful immortal in the realm. I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be fun. Okay, the next book series, I'm just gonna leave it on here and turn it around because these are the rest of our books. It is the Moral Instrument series. And yes, I did just get done saying that I have read this entire series in high school. But I loved it so much, and I want to do a reread of it in 2024. So this has City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, City of Heavenly Fire, and then this bonus book is the Shadowhunters Codex. The Codex is basically what the Shadowhunters, like their rule book, so I think it's just like their rule book that they included in here, which will be kind of cool. I love little details like that. But yeah, this is the Shadowhunter series, and it is a very large series. And yes, I did already read it, but will I be reading it again? Absolutely. So I decided to buy it again in a box set that went on sale. It had to be like $3 a book. Like, I could not pass up that deal. I could have, but I didn't. I actually rewatched the movie with my boyfriend recently, and I forgot how much I truly did love it. So yeah, that is the last 8 books in our book haul. Okay, I'm not even gonna try to stack the rest of these. Oh, you see, things are already falling. Things never go well when I have to move a stack of books. But that, oh my goodness. Okay, that is my book haul of, let me count, 24. Did I say 23 or 24 in the beginning? I don't remember. That is my book haul of my 24 books, my last massive book haul of 2023 that I will be adding onto my physical TBR to read in 2024. That is gonna be it from me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.